Alright, so Grand Summoners. In Grand Summoners, there's one thing we all have in common, and that is we love summoning. We love getting new heroes, we love getting the new characters on banner or off banner. So, now that you are summoning, you might be wondering, what are the summon animations even about? What does Roy mean? What does Ryaz mean? What does Rainbow Touch mean? What do all of these stuff mean? So that is what I am going to be explaining in this video. I'll be showing you all the different meanings for all the different summon animations, and along with that, I will also show you like all the different summon animations and what they could mean. So I decided to make a chart. I decided to make three different charts based on the animations of the summon animations, and I will be showing all of them in this video. Starting off with the one that everybody is asking for, which is the Gold Touch, Rainbow Touch, and Roy. So before I say anything though, I do want you to understand that whenever I talk about summons, I am talking about the guaranteed 5-star summon. And I'm actually also talking about the non-guaranteed 5-star summons because the same applies for them. But the guaranteed 5-star summons are more like summoned on, and that's what I know more of. So it might be a little bit wrong when it's not about the guaranteed 5-star summons. And of course, this is absolutely not about the 1-star summon or like one summon, because I have no clue how they work because I never do them. So I don't know if the same rules applies, but probably it does, but I don't know. So I'm not going to talk about that. Anyway, so Gold Touch, Rainbow Touch, and Roy. We all understand that Roy means that you got someone on the banner. But what you didn't know, or at least what some people didn't know, is that Roy actually means that you got a unit on the banner that you don't own yet. That is the thing. Because if you see Roy, you're like extremely happy because of course you got an on banner, as you should be. However, some people didn't understand that Roy means that you got an on banner that you didn't own yet. For example, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I made a video not too long ago, and that was me summoning on the Misaka and Toma banner, which is from the Index crossover. I have a perfect video to give you an example, which I will play right now.
Yeah. No,
But
the
they-
Charlotte pull is crazy though.
Reset. Yeah, reset.
No, I'll have one. Reset. Alright. Toma.
Oh!
Let's fucking
Look,
go!
I'm still recording. We're chilling.
We got Toma!
Wow.
We
Wait.
got Toma!
Is it guaranteed though? Because Roy's just banner.
No,
but
I already
you
have
have
Misaka!
Misaka.
I already have Misaka! I already have Misaka, bro!
Wait,
Guaranteed Toma!
wait.
Yo!
So, as you just heard in that video, you heard that the goat turkey was like, are you sure that it's Toma though? Like, it could be Misaka, it's just an on banner. And me and my brother were both saying, no, I already have Misaka, so it's 100% Toma. This is exactly what I mean. Back then, I already knew that if you get Roy, that means that you got an on banner that you don't own yet. And don't underestimate Turkey or anything, because he is far better than me. But he didn't know that Roy actually means that you got a unit that you don't own yet, instead of just getting a unit that's on banner. Which is why he starts questioning, like, are you sure it's Toma? Are you sure? Because obviously, if you don't know what Roy is, then you might be wondering, oh, Roy is just an on banner, could be Toma, could be Misaka, who knows? And but here I am telling this video because I want to tell all of you that that's not the case. If you were to summon on a banner and you have every single on banner unit, let's say you summon on the Fate banner and you have Shiro, you have Saber, you have Ilya, you have Miyu, and you have Chloe, and you have Rin and Luvia. Let's say you have all of them. If you summon on that banner, it is impossible for you to get Roy. It is impossible for you to get the Roy animation because you already have all the units. You already have all the on banners that you don't own yet because you already own them. So for you to get Roy is impossible. It is literally a 0% chance to get Roy animation. However, now we're going to go to the next one, which is the Rainbow Touch. Now, the Rainbow Touch is something that you will always be able to see, because a Rainbow Touch means getting an on banner. So if you summon on a banner that has featured units, so not the normal standard banner, then Rainbow Touch is always available for you to see, basically. What Rainbow Touch means is that you got an on banner. Not an on banner that you don't own, you just got an on banner. So seeing Rainbow Touch is the best thing. Seeing Roy could be even better. because that all depends obviously what you want. But Rainbow Touch is the core. If you see, because if you look very carefully, getting Roy animation has the Rainbow Touch, because Rainbow Touch is the core. If you see Rainbow Touch, you got on banner. That is what's most important. You got on banner. So, like I just said, if you get Rainbow Touch, you got an on banner. However, Ganon exists. If you don't know what Ganon is, I'll be going over that in a bit. So, if you see Rainbow Touch and you see Ganon jumping out, that means that you got the exact same as Roy for older players, not for newer players. I will also get to that in a bit, because if you summon and you get Rainbow Touch, we all understand that Rainbow Touch means getting an on banner. However, Ganon means you got a unit that you do not own. Getting a unit that you do not own and having a Rainbow Touch is basically the same as getting a Roy, because Roy means you got a unit that you do not own. So I don't know why Grand Summoners doesn't just put just Roy or just Ganon or just Rainbow Touch, or just, they gotta mix it all up, because you could get a Gold Touch pull and no Ganon, and you could get an on banner that you didn't have yet. So keep that in mind, because that's very important. However, anyway, Rainbow Touch. So, like I just said, Rainbow Touch basically means that you got an on banner unit. It's as simple as that. You see, you summon, you see Rainbow Touch, be very happy, you got an on banner unit. However, of course, let's say you're a new player and you got Rainbow Touch. That means that you got an on banner, so you should already be happy. But you see Ganon afterwards. Let's say you are a new player and you have Shiro, and you do another summon on the Fate banner and you get a Rainbow Touch and you see Ganon. That could still be Shiro, because if you get Ganon, that means that you got a unit that you do not own yet. But be very mindful, in one 11 summon or in one multi summon could be 2 or more awoken units, or higher rarity than awoken 5 stars, whatever you want to call them. Keep that in mind, that is very possible. So if you summon and you see Rainbow Touch and you see Ganon and you already have Shiro, you could still get another Shiro, even if you see that Rainbow Touch and you see Ganon. However, if you see Roy, then it's definitely a unit that you do not own yet, and it's 100% not Shiro. But if you see Ganon and a Rainbow Touch, it could be. Why? Because if you summon and you do an 11 or you do a multi, and then you see Rainbow Touch, and you get to like the thing where you can see all the summons, you will see one Shiro, and you will see a 5-star that is not an on banner. For example, I don't know, Sandstone. That Sandstone was Ganon, but the Rainbow Touch was Shiro. For older players, if you see Rainbow Touch and Ganon, it is a good thing, because as an older player, you highly likely already have almost every single 5-star in the game, like off-banner units. So if you see a Ganon, it is not going to be an off-banner, because you should already have them. So getting Ganon with Roy, Ganon with Rainbow Touch is basically the same as getting a Roy for older players. But mind you, it could also apply for newer players. This game is just a bit weird. That's it. The game is just a bit weird. Now, we're gonna get to the Gold Touch. Gold Touch is the button or the animation that you will see the most, which is just you summoning and you see a Gold Touch, you finish the summons and you just got nothing. That's basically it. However, of course, a Gold Touch, and I'm talking about the guaranteed 5-star summon, so the purple button. A Gold Touch is just basically a awoken unit at the end. So the last summon is a awoken unit. That's pretty much it. However, if you see a Ganon, then it is 100% an awoken unit or higher rarity that you do not own yet. So that could be, let's say your account is new, it could be a Shadow. Why did I say Shadow? It could be a Sandstone. I ignored that I said Shadow. It could be a Sandstone. Now that I said Shadow, if you see a Gold Touch and you are a veteran player and you're summoning on the Shadow banner, and you summon and you see Ganon and you already have every single 5-star, it could be Shadow or Beta, whoever was with, Shadow and Beta. So it could be Shadow or Beta, because even though it was a Gold Touch, you see that Ganon, and Ganon means a unit that you do not own. And if you're a veteran player and you see Gold Touch with Ganon, that is basically getting Roy, because Ganon means you don't have that unit yet. And if you have every unit, then it could only be a new unit, which is the Ascended or the on-banner unit. So you also have to keep that in mind. So if you see Gold Touch, it is most of the time, it is just a awoken or higher, or no, it's just an awoken unit that you already have and just whatever. If you see gold touch with Ganon, it's just an awoken unit that you just don't own yet. And when I say this is a very important information, when I say an awoken unit that you do not own, that could be Sandstone. So let's say you have summoned Sandstone and you get Sandstone again. That is 100% possible because there is two different kinds of sandstone. There's a 4-star sandstone, there's a 5-star sandstone. Those are counted as different units. Even though it is the same unit, they are still counted as different units. So that is a very important information. So let's say, for example, a very famous or very popular one is the 3 unit that you get in the beginning of the game. So either the fire guy, the earth guy, or the water girl, which is Corsair. So let's say you get Corsair, and you got a Corsair at 4-star. You summon again, you see Ganon, and you got Corsair again. You're like, huh? I just got her. Why was that Ganon animation? Because you probably got Corsair at 3 or 2-star. Because different kinds of stars, or rarities, whatever you want to call them, is counted as a completely different unit. Let's say, for example, one example I can give is in the missions. It says, acquire 150 units. If you are 149 and you get a 2-star Corsair when you already have a 3-star Corsair, that 149 will go to 150 because it is counted as a completely new unit. So that's very important to to understand and to know. So that's one thing. Second thing is you have to remember that for Gold Touch and for Rainbow Touch, it could always be something better. If you see a Gold Touch, it could be something good. If you see a Rainbow Touch, it could be a unit that you do not own yet. It doesn't have to be the on banner that you already own. A Gold Touch doesn't have to be no on banner. It could always be something better than what you expect. The only thing is if you see Roy, it is 100% a unit on banner that you do not own. And if you see Rainbow Touch, it is 100% a unit on this banner. The only thing with Gold Touch is the same applies. It could still be a on banner or an on banner that you do not own. The only difference is that it's not 100%. That is the only difference between Gold Touch, Rainbow Touch, and Roy. Roy is just an indication of a 100% chance that you got a unit you do not own. Rainbow Touch is an indication of a 100% chance that you got a unit on this banner, and Gold Touch is just Gold Touch. So keep that in mind. So, just to go all over them very quickly, Roy means you got an on-banner that you do not own yet. Rainbow Touch means that you got an on-banner unit that you could or couldn't own. If you got Rainbow Touch with Ganon, it is the same as Roy for veteran players, because it basically means that you got an on-banner that you do not own yet, which is the same as Roy. However, for newer players, it could mean that as well, but it could also just mean that you got multiple 5-stars and that one of them was an on banner and that the other one was just a 5-star unit that you do not own yet. And Gold Touch just means nothing. Gold Touch just means nothing, but it could mean something, because a Roy is 100% chance what I said, Rainbow Touch is 100% chance what I said, and a Gold Touch is whatever. Like, it could be Rainbow Touch, it could be the same as Roy, but it probably isn't. So that's just the thing. Now, let's go over to the next part of the animations, which is, of course, lightning. Now, trust me on this, the same applies for the Gold Touch and Rainbow Touch and Roy and stuff. I have summoned enough and rerolled enough of times to understand what all of them means. Of course, the same thing still applies, that even if you get less, it could always be more. Like I said, but the same with the Gold Touch. If you see a Gold Touch, it could still be an on banner. It could still be the same as a Roy. It is just not 100%. Same applies for lightning. Also, before I continue, actually, I want to say I am pretty damn sure that there are 4 different kinds of lightning. Like, there's no lightning, and then there is a tiny bit of lightning, which is like very slow, which is like just like 1 lightning, 2 lightning, 3 lightning, and then there's another lightning, which I called lightning 2, which is like a little bit more lightning, was like a little bit like lightning, and then there is lightning 3, which is like a lot of lightning, and it's just like blah, 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 the whole screen is just on the lightning. So I'm pretty sure there's 4, but I rerolled so many times and I just could not find it that I decided to give up and just go with 3, because that's the 3 I saw the most. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe the 4th one doesn't even exist, but I'm pretty sure it does. But yeah, just wanted to put that in there. Anyway, lightning 1. So lightning 1 is basically no lightning. If you summon and you see Ryas, if you summon and you see Ryas and then you see absolutely no lightning, highly likely it is just 1 5-star. And remember, I am talking about when you do a guaranteed 5-star summon. So if you see no lightning, it's probably just one 5-star and that's it. But of course, remember what I just said, it could always be more than what you actually see. If it was a Roy summon or a Rainbow Touch summon, Roy and Rainbow Touch are basically the same. If you see a Roy or Rainbow Touch summon and you see no lightning, it is highly likely just one on banner unit and that's it. Lightning 2, which is a little bit more lightning, exactly the same. Exactly the same. However, Lightning 3 has a whole different story. So if you see Lightning 3 and if you see Lightning 3 and you see you summon and it was Ryas and you see a lot of lightning, if there was no Ganon, let's say you summoned and there was no Ganon, this highly likely means that it is a unit that you don't own yet. It doesn't have to be an Ascendant unit, it doesn't have to be an on-banning unit, it is just a unit that you do not own. So it could be Sandstone or Fen, just normal Sandstone, normal Fen. However, what it means most of the time, when you summon and you see Lightning 3, it doesn't matter if it's Roy or Ryas or Rainbow Torch or whatever, it does not matter. If you see a lot of lightning, 80% out of the time, it means that you got more than one 5-star. So if it's Roy, that means that you got an on banner and an off banner, even if you already own the unit. It just means that you got more than more than two 5-stars. So you at least got an on banner, like on Roy, you got at least an on banner and another 5-star. That is the minimum. 80% of the time that I have rerolled, in my entire career of GS, a lot of lightning, most of the time means you got more than 2 units. So when it comes to Ryas, like I said, it could either mean that you got a unit that you don't own yet, so it's just one 5-star, and then it could be that you got a unit that you don't own yet. But most of the time, if you see a lot of lightning, expect more than 2 5-stars. If you got Roy and then see a lot of lightning, then it 100% means that you got one on banner, because of course you got Roy, and it could also mean that you got more than 2 5-stars, not 2 on banners, 2 5-stars. So a a on banner, let's say Shiro and Fen, normal Fen, just a Woken Fen. That could be a lot of lightning. However, what I have noticed over the months of playing GS, I have noticed that if you summon on a GS banner, so for example right now Mizet is here, or even what's coming tomorrow, Orvel D, you summon on the Orvel D banner. Who's Orvel D with? Luan. Orvel D is going to be with Luan, Sestina, and what's it called? Orvel, Sestina, and Lisa, and normal Orvel, whoever is in the banner. It doesn't matter, those units. So if you summon on that banner and you see that there is a lot of lightning, it is highly likely Orvel. Orvel D. It is the on-banner unit, not Luan, not anyone else. It is the on-banner unit. This is from my experience. I'm going to be completely honest. This is not 100% sure. I am not 100% certain on this information, but this is what I have noticed from my experience. So this is the only thing that I am not 100% on, but highly likely if you see a lot of lightning, then, because so far, especially on the Mizet banner, if I see a lot of lightning and it's just one 5-star, it's not 2, because like I said, most of the time a lot of lightning just means 2 or more 5-stars. But when it's just one 5-star, it was always Mizet. Always. It was never not Mizet with a lot of lightning. So that is one thing. But of course, when you see a lot of lightning, regardless if it's Roy or Ryas, it just means you got more than one 5-star. So basically, that is what a lot of lightning means. A lot of lightning basically means you got more than 2 5-stars. Sorry, more than 2 5-stars. That is basically what it means. But if it's on a GS specific unit banner, then it could also be the on banner. Why GS specific, not a crossover banner? Because all Ascendant units are on banner units on crossover banners. They are all the on banner. There is no one specific on banner unit. No, they're all. On GS units, it's not. It is Orvel D and then Luan. Luan is not the on banner unit. Luan is just the extra Ascendant unit. So that's basically what it means. Anyway, that's that. So now we're gonna go over to the last part, multi-summon animations. So, for these animations, pretty much everyone already knows what they mean, but I will still go over them. So, as you are all aware, we got the 4-star animation, which is just Raya shouting "Oh yeah," whatever he shouts, and that just basically means that you got a 4-star unit or higher. You always get a 4-star unit or higher, but you don't always see this animation because Grand Summoners is a bit weird. So that's that. Then we have the 5-star animation, which is a follow-up to the 4-star animation. So where he says "Oh yeah," and then you see like whoosh, and that's basically a 5-star animation. As the name implies, it means you got a 5-star. Doesn't have to be on banner, it could be, but it just means a 5-star or higher rarity, or awoken unit or higher rarity. So that's those two. Then we have Ganon. Ganon is the little guy with like a red cape who jumps in next to Rayas when you summon, and when you see him, it always means that you got a 5-star or higher or woken or higher rarity unit that you do not own. So even if you don't see the 5-star animation and you see Ganon, it is still a 5-star. So just keep that in mind. So that is what Ganon means. Ganon means you got a 5-star unit that you do not own yet. And Croc, or whatever you want to call him, he doesn't mean much, but from my experience, I might be completely wrong, but from my experience, whenever I see him, usually it means something good. It doesn't always it doesn't always have to mean something good, but when I see it's most of the times does mean something good. Like for example, if you do a normal multi without a 5-star and you see Croc, it most of the time means that I actually did get a 5-star even though I wasn't guaranteed one. So I'm not talking about on banner, just a normal 5-star. So Croc does mean something good. So Croc always jumps in and you could then see Rainbow Touch. Like you never see Croc when you see Roy, by the way. You only see Croc when it's Ryas, so just keep that in mind. And yeah, it sometimes means good, but sometimes just means absolutely nothing. And then we have what I like to call absolute cinema. So for example, if I got absolute cinema, I would go to my brother and I would say I got absolute cinema, and my brother's going to be like, what? But absolute cinema is basically congratulations. I don't know what the actual name for it is because nobody gets it, and that's just the truth. Almost nobody gets it. I did actually get it while I was making this video because I ruled a lot, because at the end of the video I will show you some animations and explain them a little bit more detailed. But anyway, so yeah, congratulations basically means you got 2 on banner units that you do not own. So if you see congratulations on, let's say for example, you are summoning, you started playing when free run was around, you summon on the free run banner and it's a guaranteed 5-star summon. You summon on there, you see the animation congratulations, or as I like to call it, absolute cinema. You basically got all the on banner units, because on the free run banner it is free run and Stark. If you see this absolute cinema animation, you got both, and that's basically what it means. And you will not see absolute cinema if you got 2 on banners that you already own. So let's say you summon on the Fate banner and you have Summer Miyu and Summer Chloe, and you summon and you got Summer Miyu and Summer Chloe, you will not see this absolute cinema animation. You won't see it because you already own them. And the same goes for if you have Summer Miyu but not Summer Chloe, and you summon and you got Summer Miyu and Summer Chloe, you also won't see it because you already have Summer Miyu. So that's basically what it means. Absolute cinema is basically Roy but times 2. That's basically what absolute cinema is. It's basically you just got Roy. It's as if 2 Roys jumps in. That's basically what it is. It's like you see Roy and then you jump, and where Ganon usually jumps in, jumps another Roy. That's basically what absolute cinema is. It's just 2 Roys. You got 2 on banners that you do not own. That is literally what it is. So yeah, that's about these animations. So now I will be showing you some videos to just go in a little bit of detail of what they mean, and also to show you some proof of some other information. Alright, so this is one of the reroll accounts that I have done, and as you can see here, I'm doing a multi with Karak. Karak maybe being good sign, and it indeed was. I got a Rainbow Touch. That Rainbow Touch went into a Ganon. That Ganon means I got a on banner that I do not own yet because it was Rainbow Touch. But then I see congratulations. That means that I 100% got 2 on banners that I didn't own yet. Those 2 on banners were, the first one was Miyu, which is an on banner that I didn't own because it's a new account. And then of course the second one being a bit late because I first got many other useless 4-stars in between, so I sped the video a little bit up. And then the second on banner, as you can see right here, was Chloe. So Absolute Cinema gave me 2 on banners, as I just explained. Alright, so on this video, you see me doing a multi on the Mizet banner. You see Garrick, Gold Touch, and it's a new account, so highly likely you are going to see Ganon. That Ganon goes into a lot of lightning, which probably means 2 double 5 stars, could also mean on banner. However, as you can see here, it was indeed double 5 star. However, I was incredibly tired of the rerolling, so I just closed the game to quickly see what I got. And as you can see here, it was actually Mizet, which I didn't expect. So what I am trying to explain in this clip is that you can get an on banner without having to see Rainbow Touch or Roy. It can be a gold touch and still be an on banner. Keep that in mind. And the Mew was from another pool, by the way. Alright, so in this video you can once again see me summoning on the Mizet banner. I got Roy. Roy, as always, means definitely 100% on banner. And what happens here is you see a lot of lightning. Now, what I just explained about a lot of lightning with Roy is that you got at least 1 or more, 2 or more awoken units. And as you can see here, I got 2 or more. There could be some flips there. I don't think there was, but there's 2 or more. So that proves another point that when you see a lot of lightning, it is highly likely to be 2 or more. No, with Roy, it's always 2 or more. However, keep in mind that even if you see no lightning, it could still be 2 or more 5 stars. The lightning just guarantees it to make it make sense. So, and then of course, the actual Roy was Mizet. Of course, I have been getting her so many times since I started rerolling, and yeah, I got her a lot of times. Anyway, here we go. That was basically the Roy. Alright, so in this video, you can once again see me summon on the Mizet banner. I got a Roy, and after the Roy animation finished, if you look carefully, you see no lightning whatsoever. That usually would mean you probably got nothing, but if you remember correctly, I did say no lightning could always mean something better still. And as you can see, I got 4 5-star, 4 5 stars basically. But that's not what this clip is about. This clip is about something else. I wanted to prove to you that even if you see a Roy animation, the Roy animation doesn't have to be an ascended unit. As you can see here, I got Sestina. I didn't get Mizet, I didn't get Eleanor. I got an awoken unit and I got Roy. Now you might be wondering, oh, the last one is probably an ascended unit. It is not. Because Roy doesn't mean ascended unit. Roy means on banner. As you can see here, those were all the summons. The only good unit I got, or on banner I got, was Sestina. So remember, Roy doesn't mean an ascended unit. Roy just means an on banner, even if it is an awoken unit. And that is pretty much going to be everything I wanted to explain in this video. I might have missed some few things, but honestly the video is already super long, so apologies if I did miss anything. Anyway, if I did miss anything and you are curious about it or want to ask any questions, make sure to join the Discord server. It will be in the description. I love to help out. Just ask any question you need or any question you want to know, and I will try my best to find the answer for you. That's basically going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. This video took a very long time. I had to reroll a lot to find all the different clips and to be certain about everything. Even though I've already rerolled a lot, I still rerolled again just to be extra certain. So I do really appreciate that you watched the full video if you did. And yeah, that's basically going to be all. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video once again. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.